Today we're going to walk through how to go through the intervention wizard by selecting students and then applying them to intervention groups. The first thing we do is we come up to the create option here in the upper left and go to intervention. You can create either academic or behavioral interventions from here. In this case, we'll do academic. You'll select your school, your category, which is going to be whether it's literacy or math. And then you're going to name your intervention. We typically do a shortened version of the strategy grade level, maybe the group by priority, and then plus or minus whether you need to have like a marker for the school in case you are traveling between schools and you might have groups named the same. I'm going to make this tier 2. Select my strategy, fractions, and then my name is already listed on here since I'm making it. Go ahead and once all that is filled out, you click next to set the frequency. So this is where you're going to put your start date, end date, and then the time of day, which we don't utilize that tool quite yet. It just shows if you were to look at the schedule during the day, where you're at noon versus 2 versus 10 in the morning, that sort of thing. I'm going to set this as a daily schedule for this intervention. There is an as needed option, and that's for students, those groups that can only meet 7 of 10 days. There's no way around it. It's just not going to happen. But for fidelity reasons, we want to make it as needed. The daily schedule is great for if you're meeting 9 out of 10 and that one day is an ICM meeting. We've got an attendance code for that. So we'll put this as daily. I do recommend if you're at the beginning of the year, go ahead and put the end date for the end of the school year. It'll be okay. It just allows us more flexibility for as phase changes happen. Every phase you will have to be changing end dates anyway, so it'll be okay. So I'm going to have it start today, go through the end of the year at noon. I'm going to put it as every day and for 15 minutes. Go ahead and click next to go to add your students. All right, and then click add. You can also add other students at this time if you want. I'm going to select no, and then go ahead and click next. This is where you can add probes for progress monitoring as if we're using AIMSweb. You don't have to have a probe. It will say, oh, you need to have an intervention with a probe to have rate of improvement. We understand. But go ahead and remove it if you're not progress monitoring with an AIMSweb. Go ahead and click next. Now we can set an analysis schedule, so you'll get emails with the fidelity report that the module creates for you. And how frequently do you want this to come to your email? So you've got the date range, and I'd be sure to put it through the end of the school year because you don't want to have something in the end of June coming in. I'm going to have mine come in monthly on the 10th. But I'd always set it for the day prior to when you're having like an important meeting. So if you have meetings every other week on Friday or every other week on a Monday, make sure that you have it calculate for either that Saturday or that Monday morning because it generates that the day prior. The meetings module we're not quite utilizing yet, so you don't have to worry about that. All of this is filled in now, so I'm going to click save. It will say, whoa, probes are recommended. You can override this by saving again. If you click OK, that's not the save button. Come up here and click save. If you close this before you click save, you will lose everything. Perfect. So now when I go to my interventions, I will now see my group. Great. Come over to the intervention attendance. And let's say I had an as-needed group. This checkbox will only show your as-needed groups. I don't have any as-needed groups. If I unselect it, then I'll see my 2 groups. But what you do is you click that little box next to it and you can add those dates. What you'll see is the new groups will populate in your attendance window, and you can then do quick complete and save and things like that for today's date. If you have any questions, of course, give us a call or email us at educlimber@fortschools.org.